All right. So I have to apologize to Janelle because her slide is missing. I don't know what happened, but Janelle, come on up. You may recognize from Janelle from the open data panel this morning, and from many unconference sessions about traffic and other things. So is your talk still, you don't want to be stuck in traffic? We can get one, yeah.
Great. I'm a surprise guest. So the actual program, it has a little typo that says, I have traffic. So I just kind of want to tap into my inner Oprah for a second, because I have traffic, you have traffic, you have traffic, you have traffic. But I've been talking about the same thing over and over again. I hate traffic. How about you? So I am the business solutions manager for the town of Chapel Hill, and I hate traffic. And you?
I am Sarah Hancock, and I'm a budget analyst for the town of Chapel Hill, and I hate traffic.
So we had a wonderful unconference workshop where we actually got together as a group, and we really kind of talked about how to solve some of the traffic problem at a regional level. Chapel Hill has a perception of a traffic problem. Now, I'd much rather drive in Chapel Hill than actually Atlanta or Washington, D.C. A shout out to Greg, because Greg in this conference, really, the unconference, he really said if a city has a perception of a traffic problem, then they really have a traffic problem, right? So in Chapel Hill, we have a perception of a traffic problem.
We do.
And how did we find out about that?
So we found out about our traffic problem through two ways. We had a community survey where people were like, we hate traffic, this is awful, what can we do about this? We also have a lot of development that's trying to happen, and who shows up to talk about this development but citizens that are concerned about traffic in their area once something actually gets built up. So those two components have charged the council and our management to say, hey, group, solve this problem. Well, we aren't sure what the problem is. So that was where we kind of started to dig into what data do we have, where's the perception coming from, and what does it actually mean to have a traffic problem?
Yeah, and it's not like Chapel Hill's not doing anything. I would love to come up here and really talk about the great and wonderful things that Chapel Hill is doing. I mean, we've partnered with Waze, like so many of our surrounding communities. We actually participate in several regional traffic studies, but the problem is there's not one study that encompasses all of the triangle.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of acronyms we could throw out: MPOs, TIAs, local traffic studies. I mean, we have them all, but we still have a perception with traffic.
Yes. And traffic's not necessarily a city problem. Anybody who lives in the Triangle knows that this is a triangle problem, right? So we have people traveling from Raleigh to Chapel Hill, from Chapel Hill to Durham, from Durham to Cary. So people are shifting all over the region. So our question is, and our charge to you is, how do we bring all of these data sets, all of these components, all of these players, DOT, different towns, different organizations, private companies that are tracking this information like Waze, how do we bring them all to the table and try to solve the problem of not only what's going on with traffic, but how do we let the citizens know how to interact with this data? How do we let them know what we're doing as an organization to actually help combat traffic? How do we do that?
And whether you're an engaged citizen or you're in Innovate Durham or you work for the government, you all have a piece of this puzzle. Let's help put this puzzle together and really kind of change the perception of traffic through education, through alternative solutions. So I challenge all of you to contact your city officials, to have your voice be heard, and help us solve this perception of traffic.
Yes, and if you have an idea for an application, for example, origin data to destination data, we don't have that information, right? If you have an idea for how to do that, contact Chapel Hill or contact any of your local organizations and let them know that you have that information, because whether they are telling you or not, we need this information. We need it to inform signal timing. We need it to inform crash data. We need to understand what roads are owned by whom and how we can let the public know that. So if you have any of that information or you have access to data sets, start making those connections, start reaching out to organizations and let us know that you have them, because we're spread pretty thin and we're looking for this information and we know you guys have it.
And I know my contact information is not up here on the screen, but I'll be willing to wait and talk to anyone who wants to talk about this. Help us solve this issue. This is not just a Chapel Hill problem. It's a Raleigh problem. It's a Garner problem. It might be a problem in Asheville. I just don't know. You know? So I thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you guys so much. Thank you for letting me come up here as a guest.
All right. See, we're getting the full triangle here, like all of them. So let's see. Don't pretend like you didn't see those. All right.